talk about some practices that you can do to support your body if you're exposed to air pollution. Now, ideally, the best scenario is to avoid the air pollution. Stay indoors or don't go to a place that's experiencing it. But if it's unavoidable, then there's some practices that you can employ to help to prevent any sickness from happening and keep your nasal passages clear. The first is a neti pot. So these you can find at most health food stores, at CVS, most drugstores. They're about $15. And what you do is you make a salt water rinse. So you put about a half teaspoon of salt water in the neti pot and fill it with warm water. I like to just keep my little half teaspoon in the neti pot so it's always there. You fill it with warm water, and then you pour the warm salt water up one nostril, and you got to kind of play with the angle of your head a little bit to get it just right, but the water will run out your other nostril. And then once you've done one pot full through a nostril, you reverse it and do the other nostril. This practice will clear any debris out of the nasal passages that might have accumulated there from the pollution. It's also going to help you to continue to breathe deeply and fully. It'll clear out any mucus that might build up in reaction to the pollutants. And so I recommend doing this in the morning when you first wake up, in the evening before you go to bed, and anytime after you've been outside exposed to the air pollution for a significant period of time. After you do the neti pot, you're going to want to put a little bit of oil on each of your pinky fingers. And you can use sesame oil, olive oil, coconut oil, any kind of oil that you would eat. Moisten your pinky fingers with it, and then put the pinky fingers up your nose and massage the nasal passages with the oil so that they don't dry out. Because if the salt water of the neti pot can have a drying effect on your nose, and we want to prevent the skin and the membranes in there from becoming too dried out. So the oil afterward is essential to prevent that, especially when you're using a neti pot very frequently. Next on the list of sort of nasal care is Nasia oil. And I like to get the one from the Ayurvedic Institute. It's called Super Nasia, and Nasia is spelled Nasya. And this is a blend of Ayurvedic herbs in sesame oil. And the idea is that you just put 1 or 2 drops in each nostril. This is also done ideally first thing in the morning. You can do it after you use your neti pot. You can put a little bit of the oil on your fingers and use that oil to moisten your nasal passages. If you don't have easy access to Nasia and you can't afford to get it shipped to you, and then just use regular oil with the neti pot. This is kind of another layer of a practice that you can use. If you're very averse to the neti pot and it's a hard no for you, then Nasia might be the right choice for you. You can do the Nasia first thing in the morning when you wake up. I like to keep it right next to my bed on my night table, and just roll your pillow up under your neck to create a little neck roll so that your head will naturally tilt back. And you want to be laying down while you're doing this, obviously. And then you just put 1 drop of oil into the nostril, close the other nostril, and gently inhale the oil up your nose. You don't want to inhale too hard. If you start to taste the oil in the back of your throat, and if you get the taste of it, you've inhaled too hard. No big deal. Just next time, be a little more gentle in the inhale. And then once you're done with one nostril, do the other nostril, and then ideally lay there for a few minutes just to let gravity help that oil travel up the nasal passages. This is said to calm the mind, promote clear breathing, and it also offers a little bit of protection for the nasal passage if you're exposed to a lot of harsh pollutants. So that's number 2. And then number 3 is pranayama, also known as breath work. Now, the one that I would recommend is alternate nostril breathing, which if you don't know that, head over to my YouTube channel, Indra Holistic Health YouTube channel, and you'll see I've got a video demonstration of how to do alternate nostril breathing. I recommend doing that first thing in the morning, anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. That is just going to also help to make sure that each nasal passage is clear, promote clear, unobstructed breathing, and also help to just kind of balance your energy flow. You can also, if you're finding that you are getting a lot of congestion buildup due to air pollution or other causes, you can also do a more forceful alternate nostril breathing. So instead of just that gentle, you're more like, and the exhale is like a hard exhale, as opposed to the more gentle version that I instruct in the video. Now, you don't want to try doing this if you're severely congested, because it's just going to create more pressure in your head. It's more like if you feel you're in the beginning stages of getting some congestion, you're using the Neti pod, it's clearing stuff out, but you want a little bit more oomph to keep things moving, then you might do a little bit of a more forceful alternate nostril breathing. So hopefully that helps to keep your nose clear and you feeling well throughout any air pollution exposure you might be experiencing.